couple of things need to be said. Number one, I'm really disgusted at all the hoopla and the noise that has been made because of Tony Dungy's comments. I don't find them remotely controversial. I want to be very, very clear about that. I know that people might sit there and look at me like I'm insane. Get over it. Here's the reality of the situation. You can take this two ways. There are people who've extended themselves to the religious portion of it. Tony Dungy, devout Christian, feels this way about homosexuality, so he would make such a statement. They're surmising that from a quote that basically didn't allude to any of his religion whatsoever. My point is, even if that were the case, he is known to be a devout Christian. He is known to be walking in the faith, as they say. He is known to be that kind of individual, and he has been against same-sex marriages, and I think he once received an award in 2007 for such a thing. So that's consistent with who he has been. But if you don't go the religious route, and you choose not to go the religious route, and you just go based on his quote, he is saying that essentially it would be a distraction. So now what do people do? They stand up and they bring up Michael Vick and the dogfighting scandal and how he embraced Michael Vick and he was, you know, a mentor and an advisor to Michael Vick and you know, in terms of the reclamation project that was Michael Vick after 18 months of incarceration in Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary due to the dogfighting scandal. My point is this, Skip. What does one have to do with the other? If you're trying to draw parallels, it's because you still sit here and you refuse to accept the obvious. Regardless of how egregious it may be, regardless of how wrong and wrong-sided it may be in the eyes of various people throughout this nation and throughout this world, somebody going to jail for a dogfighting scandal, serving his time, getting out of prison, and being in an NFL locker room is not necessarily something that's going to cause a distraction in the eyes of players compared to somebody that is gay in the locker room. We don't like to say that, but it's just the truth. I personally, again, I'm on the record. I am not against gay rights, same-sex marriages, all of this other. I don't care about that stuff. Me personally, I'm like, live and let live. Do what you do. I don't believe that anybody should be ostracized. I don't believe anybody should be violated, you know, denied their civil liberties and their civil rights. I don't believe in any of that. I am a proponent of most of the causes the gay community has fought for. And I think that it's wrong how they've been prejudiced against. But having said all of that, I think it's important to recognize that that doesn't mean that people have a right to be comfortable with you. If you are in a professional sports locker room and you happen to be gay, there are people in an NFL locker room or any kind of locker room for a professional sports team. There are people that are going to have a problem with it. Now, it would be smart to keep it to yourself because, as Skip Bayless has said on many occasions, you don't have to condone, but you must not condemn. So if somebody is sitting there in the locker room and they're minding their own business, but it's just not something that they agree with, they shouldn't be excoriated either. You have the right to feel what you feel so long as you're not trying to inflict any kind of harm, figuratively or literally, upon another human being. It's that simple. So Tony Dungy, I say all of that to say that whether it's from a religious perspective or whether it's just taking his quote verbatim, he happens to be right. Some people would have a problem with it, and what he's saying is because it's him, it's something he would prefer not to deal with. And I'm going like this. This is a reason why I'm listening to Mike and Mike or listening to other radio stations or watching Sports Center and everybody's going crazy because Tony Dungy said something that is very, very obvious that a lot of people feel. I don't happen to be one of them. I don't know who else does. But that's how he feels. That's how he feels. I don't see the problem. I really don't.
I'm shocked that you don't see the problem here. I'm truly, utterly shocked. But I'm not speechless.
Okay.
I want to be clear. I share Tony Dungy's spiritual views. but I found his small comment that he made yesterday highly controversial, highly hypocritical, and I must say, highly offensive. And let's reiterate the ground that you've just covered.
Sure.
2007, Tony Dungy came out in support of a gay marriage ban, which means he was anti-obviously gay marriage, and he was applauded in some circles for that and did receive the award for that. And he said at that time, we're not trying to downgrade anyone else in the gay community, but we are trying to promote family values the Lord's way.